Hello, everybody. It's Thrive O'Clock. We're so glad you're here. Drop in the comments where you are. Rachelle, how are you doing? It's been a while. I've missed you.
I know it has been a while, although it's nice to say that, or nice to be able to say that we actually have seen each other in person twice this year, and it had been 2 years.
Almost 3.
And it's just crazy. So I'm good. I think was it 2020, February 2020? Yeah, it's okay. But it felt like forever. Felt like forever. No, I'm good. I'm good. It's a busy week, all the things. So how are you doing?
Well, you know me. I just woke up sexy as hell again, but here I am, just sharing.
That must be really tough every day, to just wake up like that. It
used to be. It's getting easier,
You should write a book on the how-to.
I'm sorry. Y'all, if you are joining in, tell us hi. How are you? It's SEL Day.
It is.
It's SEL Day. And before we get to our shout outs, you have I'm going to drop the link. Tell us about your webinar tomorrow.
Well, coincidentally, and this was not planned ahead of time, to coincide with today being International SEL Day, but with Dr. Desiree Alexander, who is one of our favorite people. She has those great webinars that she does. And so tomorrow, morning, 11 Central, 12 Eastern, I have an hour webinar, and it'll be talking about Chart a New Course, which kind of is focused on my book with ISTE, but essentially talking about SEL. And so I'll be sharing some tools, getting people to, there's giveaways. And I know that I think somebody else did a webinar really recently for Dr. Desiree. I'm trying to think of who that might have been.
It was me!
I know it was you.
Somebody was that's too loud for me. Totally get it. Yes, thank you for showing up last week, and it was fun. We love Dr. Desiree Alexander. She has an amazing platform, and I'm excited. So I signed up for your webinar, but I'll be in transit. I'll be traveling tomorrow, so I will catch the replay.
No, not acceptable. You will listen in transit.
Well, it's always
and the recording. You'll listen twice.
So hopefully, guys, just go to edalex.net /SEL now, and that will take you right to the registration. And if you can't attend live, like I can't, unfortunately, you will get the replay in your email, which is great. And then also for Q, I know you are speaking at Q, but you're doing it virtually as well.
Yeah, I know. It was scheduled for next Friday, but just with the conferences and having missed some school travel was a little bit too tough in that time frame. So 24 hours in Palm Springs is not enough. So yeah, so doing a virtual one next Friday. So
awesome. Okay. Well, I love that. I will actually be at Q as well for the first time. So if you are going to Q, please find me. I'll be at the Spaces booth 425. And also I do have a in-person presentation on Thursday in the Mesquite room at 2:05. So find me. Yay. And so that's our business. Do we have any other business we want to share before we go to our shout outs?
Wait, what? Shout out. Hey, Dr. Sarah. So, there's a lot of things, but I've been learning a lot. I just have to share because in 2 weeks from now, we'll have Rabbi Michael Cohen on. And I cannot wait to talk to him because I've been doing a lot of research on NFTs, blockchain, Web 3.0, cryptocurrency. So I am super excited about that because I've been teaching about that in my classes, metaverse, you name it. What?
Gesundheit.
So anyway, I've been learning a lot of things this week, trying all kinds of technologies and stuff. So I'm super excited to have him on in 2 weeks. And then thankful for people that are joining me on Monday that dealt with some of my rescheduling over the last couple of weeks here. So we'll be back on Monday to talk about books. But speaking of books and friends and people that are our favorite people, we have a favorite person here with us today. I know 2 years ago, we had an awesome time together hanging out in my favorite place.
Yes, agreed. But and we're going to bring her up. If you know who the author of this book is, and she just came out with another one. And I want to do another shout out before we bring up this amazing woman leader. It's so great that is this our first one in March? Is this our first broadcast in March?
It is. Yes.
And we didn't even plan, like, it wasn't even purposeful, but it kind of is. Maybe I should have just said it was planned. It was purposeful to have the first guest be a powerful woman for Women's History Month. Yes, Dr. Sarah's was also with us in Nashville, and our friend was. Before we bring out our amazing friend who authored this book and another one that just come out, I do want to give a shout out to Carrie Bofcom. I always will probably butcher your last name, but this arrived in the mail today. And I'm so excited to dig into this. And I think it's a great SEL book and good share too. I'm going to drop the link. Do you have any shout outs you want to give?
I want to give a shout out to Jamie Donnelly, who is another one of my BFFs, because she sent me, I don't know if you can see it, but last week I got another necklace, because you know me and my necklaces, but it's a Wonder Woman necklace, and she's very thoughtful. And today's her birthday, so I sent her a gift for her cats, a gift for her, and some retainer cases, because she thinks for some reason that I wear a retainer, and she always tells everybody this funny story. So I sent her a set of retainer cases for her birthday today.
Oh my
so
gosh.
Happy birthday to Jamie
Happy
Donnelly.
birthday, Jamie. Where's my birthday balloon? I want to sing to her. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jamie. Happy birthday to you. All right.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. You know, it's hard to be sexy and talented, but I do my best every day. Okay. All right. Are you ready to bring up our guest?
I am. I mean, I'm having a great time with you here right now, but I definitely want to include Dr. Joy with us.
Yes, let's bring her up. Dr. Joy, how
are you? I was just enjoying listening to you two. Really, this is like amazing. You are a dynamic pair.
Rachelle and Mel, we try. Yes, happy birthday to Jamie. Sorry, I'm trying to get all the comments. Okay, so Dr. Joy, the last time we were together was in Nashville 2 years ago with Dr. Sarah,
yes,
Mel, and Alexis Terry, and but
you and I did Melissa Etheridge.
Yes, we did, girl. Yes, we did. You want to do it again right now?
No, and I kind of did. I tried LL Cool J. I'm bad, but we got to practice that for next time.
Okay, there will be a next time. But you are a wonderful leader and a phenomenal woman. You know, you've done so much. You do so much work with Back to Zero.
Yes,
and now, can you please hold up your newest book? I want to say congratulations.
Yes. Thank you. Joy Works. 8 lessons for educators. I'm very proud of this. Back to Zero is my heart, for real. Like my heart work. You know the story behind it. Mm-hmm. And so it's always going to drive a lot of what I do. And Joy Work it's definitely like my journey as an educator. And so both of them are really from the heart. So I'm proud of both works.
I'm proud of you. And and I can help contribute. I contributed to Joy Works.
So did Rachelle. Yes.
Both of you. Look at us.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Love the writing.
So it's
yes.
Phenomenal. Yes.
Happy. So before we talk about your book, tell us a little bit about your background, because there may be just a few, like 2 people out there that haven't, really aren't familiar with you yet.
Just two.
I don't know. I'm an educator, author. I've been in education for over 20 years. I call myself Dr. Joy. My dad gave me the nickname Joy, and I talk about that in the book. And so that is, I love him. And I guess, it's like, I love him. And he just has an impact on me. My parents in general, they've been married for 55 years. I get to see him every Friday. My dad still watches like Monday Night Raw. It's just, they're very, we're very tight-knit family. And he gave me that nickname. And it just, growing up, I always say that, like, I just didn't like it. But there came a point in my life as an adult that it was just, I understood what an honor it was to be called someone's joy. And so it's something that I use and that I try to just live my life by.
Yeah. And I don't know if you know this, but my middle name is Joy.
Oh, I didn't know that all this time.
And Rachelle's middle name is Joy.
I don't know whether to believe you or not anymore. I'm like, I had a feeling you were going to say my middle name was Joy.
My middle name really is Joy, and it is hard. Joy Works. It is hard. So let's jump in. Tell us a little bit about this, because number one, I think to actually have joy in your life, you have to work. It has to be a purpose, because joy doesn't just happen. I mean, It's different than being just happy. So tell us a little bit about this new and wonderful book that just was released a couple of days ago.
Like, I learned that over the years. Like, I always thought joy was just like gonna always come in some big form, and it was gonna just be delivered to my door. And then it was just like I couldn't understand why I couldn't sustain joy in my work. It was like I would have a role, and I'm so excited about it, and then I was just like, man, I need to do something else. It's not it's them. It's everybody else. Like I need to go somewhere else. And then it's like wherever you go, there you are.
Yes.
And so it was important to like I had to really, really take some time. Like it was a time where I could not come out of a funk. And so I had to really take some time to figure out like what is this? And that's when I realized that it's me. I had to put in the work. And so the original, even when I was thinking of the title of the book, it was like Joy Works. And I was just trying to like put the two together so you would understand that it's just work. But then my husband was like, just keep it simple, baby. Joy Works. And they'll get it, when they read the book. So, yeah, that's what it's about. Just putting in the work. Like you put in the work for everything that you do. I say honor your joy, like you honor everything else in your life. It's so important. And I live by it. And yeah, that's it. And there's a lot of other educative voices in here. And I always say it takes courage to stand up for your joy, especially at a time when, things are not like happy and people feel very negative about a lot of the structures in their organizations. So it takes a lot of courage to stand up for your joy, to fight for your joy, to talk about your joy, to acknowledge your joy. And so I was so grateful for the educators who contributed their perspectives and their reflections to this book. To include you and Rachelle.
Yeah, and Dr. Sarah says understandable and relatable, and I would agree. Like joy, and you can still have joy. What I've learned is that you can still have joy even when you're going through some really dark times. Like, that's kind of what sustains you through a lot of that. But it's not easy. Like you say, what is one thing that about your book that you think will really resonate with the readers?
I think the one thing that will resonate is throughout each chapter, there's like reflective questions and exercises. So I think it'll be a very personal experience each chapter. And I try to include story within each chapter, just my personal experiences. So I think that is something that they'll connect to, just the story. And everybody has a story like to share. And I think they'll relate to something that happened in their life. But I think the reflection questions make you think. They make you like really think about your day to day and give you something to connect to. And so that's something that I'm hoping that the readers really, really delve into. And that's the questions that are in each chapter and some of the activities that are in each chapter.
Can you guys hear my kids screaming and crying?
No.
Speaking of joy.
You mean
find joy in that?
Letting them before you came up here?
I did. I'm like, wow, they're getting louder. Maybe I should mute myself. Like social emotional learning.
Did not notice.
I always want to hear Wit, so it wouldn't bother me at all.
No.
And he'll probably come in. Well, I love that. And I love, me, and that's kind of what I wrote about in your book is the reflection part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a question for both of you. What helps you to reflect? Is it natural for you, or do you make yourself do it?
For me, it's been like a journey of like years of learning how to like take that time or moment to stop what I'm doing to think about my actions. Like if a situation happens and it's like just something that's like bad happens and you're like, why did this happen? Before I used to always look on the outside of me, and now I think I've practiced so much to take a pause to really think about my actions, my behavior, my words, my body language. But I think it's just like your thought process, to switch your thought process, to take a pause and take that time. And to be honest, a therapist helps because for me, like they hold you accountable to your actions, and they help you reflect over time, and they capture your thoughts, in a way that you can always have something to go back to. And so I think it's having thought partners as well, not just professional thought partners, but people in your life that you can that care about you, want to see you grow, not only professionally, but emotionally in all those different ways. Just having honest relationships. That's something that has built my joy greatly. Like focusing on relationships and the importance of having people in your life that care about your joy. I mean, and willing to do that work with you, because you can't do it by yourself all the time. And so it's having people that are really willing to do that work with you, see you trying, see your small steps. I'll tell you an example. Like, I have a big family. I have 4 sisters and 2 brothers, and we're on a group chat. And I was always so busy, like working and stuff. I would always be missing in action. And so, even when when I was going through bad things or sad times, I was known for the person that was missing in action, you know, not picking up the phone, not answering texts, not answering emails. And so that's something that I was very transparent about with them. And so it's like, it's been such a shift for me over the last couple of years. And so when you have people that see you making that change and they acknowledge it, it's just a good feeling. So I think this joy work is about you, but you can't do it by yourself.
I love that. I love that. What about you, Rachelle? How about reflection with you? Does it come naturally? Do you make yourself do it? What's it
Yeah.
like for you?
I don't know that I even want to answer after Dr. Joy's
Okay.
answer. No, I'm kidding.
I'm wrong with it.
It's going to be
It
like,
really was a good answer. I
you
love that.
should have let in with me, because then it can just only like go up after that. But reflecting is not something that I used to do. It just, my teacher preparation, as long ago as that was not anything like it is today. And the practices, reflection, it wasn't spoken about like a reflective practice or having a PLC or PLN or PLF or anything like that. And it wasn't until, I don't know how many years ago now at this point, somebody said, well, what are you doing for reflection? I'm like, well, what do you mean? They said, well, your practice, your teaching, like when you go your lesson plans. And I didn't think about it. So what I started to do was actually blogging and just sharing those ideas, or doing a podcast. Like you've heard my podcast, where it's me talking to myself and having my own conversation. Although the last, I don't know how many months, I've just been using our episodes here for podcasts because they're great conversations. But that became a great, I know, that became a great reflective practice for me. And somebody said, journal writing, or just having a conversation with somebody, just sharing ideas, or I don't have time to reflect. And I think I had written a blog post at some point, I'm not sure when, about different ways you can do it. Like, even if you're walking around your classroom and after a class period and you tried something new that day, or something went horribly that day, and you just even grab a Post-it note and just jot down like a note to yourself about it and just stick it somewhere on your desk. And then just going through that, even that in itself is a way to reflect, because you're like, oh, I forgot about that. Because, if you teach, like I teach a Spanish 1 class twice a day, one's first period, one's sixth period. And I mean, a lot happens in between those times. And sometimes I might forget. So even jotting a note down to come back and revisit that, or I get to reflect on it before the next class comes in and change it up a little bit. But there's different ways to do it. And what works for me is not going to work for everybody else. And I think the important thing is just finding some way to at least think back on what you're doing, so that if you are feeling like, I'm not doing a great job, this is challenging, that you do see that you are growing and improving each day. It doesn't have to be these giant gains and everything. It's just small steps, and like asking yourself, this is not my quote, but Daniel Pink said, am I a little bit better today than I was yesterday? And just thinking through that intentionally makes a difference.
Yeah, I really love that. So Dr. Joy is saying that, reflection, it helps when you have your thought partners, so that you're going through this journey, but not by yourself, like having that accountability. And I love that you're talking, Rachelle, about, just little steps, celebrating those little steps, or just taking note of those little steps so that you can grow. And, I've always considered myself just naturally reflective, but I listened to Mandy Freilich's keynote yesterday, and it's definitely about, going through trauma. And I realized for the first time, I realized why I am naturally reflective. And I think it's because I grew up in such a very chaotic atmosphere, and I was always trying to read other people. And I was always very aware of how I was feeling, because I didn't want to get in trouble for how I was feeling, how it was being communicated. And I was always trying to, either avoid the chaos or not contribute to the chaos in some way. And I think that that's how I started to like kind of know my mind and what I was going to do next. Maybe even some manipulation in there. I don't know. But I had never thought about reflection in that process before. But sometimes even the weirdest things in your life can, you can learn from them and make it a positive thing. I think reflection is powerful. Something that I do with my kids or in the classroom is I always spend time reflecting. Like when we've had an amazing lesson, or if we've done something amazing, I think it's good to sit with it for a while, enjoy it, because we know that life and its moments can be very fleeting, but the work that we do is pretty important, I think, and I think everybody's work is important, whatever niche that they have in life, so understanding that and enjoying it and celebrating it, I think brings you some more joy. I don't know.
The conversations change, they grow, they go in a different direction. So I think about starting this year with a middle schooler and a high schooler who are going back to school after being home for 2 years and entering school, and just the year of the conversation, just of like going to school and like preparing them. The other day, like my son was telling me that something that happened in school, and I was like, well, it's time to change that narrative. Like I could have never talked to him like that at the beginning of the year, but it's the constant putting in that work. And to me, that's the joy at this point, is that we can have this conversation where he's like, oh, change the narrative. Like, I don't like that she said it, but it makes sense. Like I can't even say, so now I'm gonna go to my room and I'm gonna try to cut and I'm gonna think about this, and then I'm gonna come back, and it's just different from at the beginning of the year where we really needed more back to zero. So, it's just over time, it's just like it changes the conversation. It just changes. And that's the joy piece to me.
It is. I think it's so cool that you can talk with your son like that, and you were saying earlier about how, a lot of times we do look through this lens where everything seems to be happening to us. But honestly, the things that we can control and that happen through us is just as important. I love that, changing your narrative. So we'll have a call. I want to hear more about this, what happens, yeah. And I want to say also, both of you, as you said, Dr. Joy, you both are my thought partners. Like you have both have kept me accountable, and you've lifted me up when I needed it. Dr. Sarah, if you're still watching, you have. Even Rachelle's mom, Marianne, where are you? Say hi. Support people. Today I feel good. Today it's been a really rough week for me for different reasons. I lost my aunt last weekend, and losing people that you love is never easy. But then also just the emotional, the emotions that come in. It's like a roller coaster when you think about life in that way, and then the mortality. Something that I've been reflecting on. This has nothing to do with anything probably, and I probably shouldn't bring this up, but I've been really struggling about reflecting on mortality lately. And it's kind of scary. I never did until I hit 40. Is that weird?
It makes sense.
And then when somebody passes, I think about it even more. And I used to always, but yeah. Anyway, moving on. Oh, we're getting closer to our game time. Are you ready to play? I mean, we just got really serious. What do you think?
We did get serious.
Serious.
It's my fault. What do you think? Are you ready to play? Does anybody out there, if you're watching, through 3 people watching, do you want to play with us?
There's more than that watching.
How many does it say on your end?
Well, I mean, I see the screen like on here, but I was looking on Twitter and stuff too. So.
Oh, you are?
I was. Yeah, multitasking.
Oh, multitask. Yes, I love it. Well, I'm ready to play because I think that we should end the note on a positive and funny and laugh as much as we can. Are y'all ready?
Goodness.
Sure.
Ready it's going to be.
Right. Yes. So if you're watching and you're not here with us, like presently sharing space, please still answer these questions. Even if you're a little slow. I have a feeling that ladies today.
I ask these questions. I just yell out.
You do. Please yell out. Yes, that's rapid fire. We'll ask a question. You just yell it out. Now I'm going to switch screens, Rachelle. So if anybody answers, will you pull them up?
Yep.
All right, here we go. And that's the great thing about rapid fire is it's okay to yell the first thing from your mind, even if it's not really true. Like, all right, here's the best one. All right. What ridiculous thing has someone tricked you into doing or believing?
Oh God.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yell it.
Something that took me into doing. Oh God, I don't even know if I can say.
Do I have to
Wish
put
you
on my
would.
earmuffs?
Yeah, you should. I wish you would say whatever you're not
No, I
saying, Dr.
can't
I
say
Joy.
it.
I don't. I can't think of anything.
Think of anything.
Mm, I don't know.
I,
Like
you know,
I know there's something. I just can't think of what that something is.
Oh, I'll tell you a story, and you guys keep thinking. I
Okay.
remember in the sixth grade, guys, you know, you're like 12 years old, right? Sixth grade, 12. I remember arguing in the lunch line with one of my classmates that Santa was not real, but the tooth fairy was. And I knew for a fact the tooth fairy was real, but Santa wasn't. They were dumb. I was smart. And I remember getting in trouble for that as well.
Hmm. Yeah, I still got nothing because I was listening to your story.
I think there's something you just don't want to say it, but it's all right. We'll move on. Okay. Please answer this one. What quote or saying do people spout, but that's complete BS?
oh God. Oh man. Quote to people. Um. Oh, I don't know. That's hard. No, these are
I
hard.
know.
Are they though?
I mean, you're like, I don't know how you play rapid fire when you're asking somebody for a quote because you can't spell out the quote fast.
What about like cleanliness is next to godliness?
Oh.
Or what about practice makes perfect?
I have a Spanish workbook that says that, and I don't know how effective it is.
Right? All right, maybe I got a little deep at first. I'm sorry. See, this is how I am. I get deep really fast. And people tell me their life story within 5 minutes of meeting them. To me, I could spout this out, but I'm reading the questions. Let me get something a little bit lighter. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll find.
Okay,
Oh my
wait,
God.
I'm gonna hang on. I'm gonna Google cliche quote.
All right. And when you're looking that up, we'll revisit that. What is the worst smelling place you've ever been?
Oh, I don't want to offend anybody.
Let's laugh.
When I was a kid and we drove through Georgia, just like the smell of sulfur, because I didn't know what that was, right? I think that's what it is. I'm like, what is that smell? It just doesn't go away. So
I think sometimes when I'm like on route, I think it's 13, and it's like the chicken plants or whatever, like I don't know what it is, but it just smells like that whole way. Whatever factories there, I don't know who they are, but
Yeah.
Whatever the meat factories or whatever.
Man, I'll tell you what. My husband isn't even allowed to use the restroom that we share. Like he has to go someplace else because after he uses the bathroom, that is the worst smelling place ever.
God.
okay, I got one. Everything happens for a reason.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not a bad one, but how about this one? You have to kiss a lot of frogs before you find your prince.
Oh yeah.
I did Google that.
If you kiss a lot of frogs, be prepared to get a cold sore because seriously, don't kiss people. I have never. Okay, I don't even want to say it because there's no.
Now I'm going to tell my daughter to kiss a lot of frogs. Like no.
Don't kiss them. Not in this age. It's not safe. And then when you said everything happens for a reason, I want to add to that. Everything does happen for a reason. And sometimes that reason is because you're stupid and you make lousy choices. Okay. That's the part that's not BS.
Don't make me laugh hard.
And yes, Marianne, bad cologne.
Yes, absolutely.
For sure. All right. Oh, this is really weird. Are you ready for me to go on or did you have some more dumb like quotes?
No, I closed that tab out.
What's a body part you wouldn't mind losing?
What?
I love all my body parts.
What the heck kind of question is that? Like, I wouldn't mind losing.
I mean, like my appendix. Is that what you call it? Your appendix?
Yeah, I mean, your appendix, yeah.
And then maybe after that, my gallbladder. I feel like those are iffy, like, organs.
No, I don't want to lose anything. I want everything. I feel like everything needs to be there for something.
Oh
I don't want to lose anything.
I got nothing on that one.
Okay.
Nope.
Marianne, Dr. Sarah. All right. What is the craziest thing one of your teachers has done or you've done as a teacher that won't get you fired if you say it out loud?
Craziest? I had a teacher one time in one of the schools I went to, I can't remember, who was smoking in class. And I was like, it's really interesting to be smoking in the class. So I didn't know how I felt about that. I mean, that wasn't high school. It was a college, like a college course. So
I did have this one. There was this one sub, and like I was working across the hall from her, and she fell asleep, like she was knocked out. And so I wanted to wake her up because I felt bad, like maybe she was just on medication or something. But somebody went and got the principal, and she couldn't come back. I just felt bad. I was just like, just wake her up, like try to. But they went and got the principal. They made her leave, and then she couldn't come back, and I felt bad because I thought maybe she was just like on medication or something, and she just like she was knocked out in the chair, and the kids were. She was just like knocked out, like in a chair.
oh my gosh.
I think that she needed help. Maybe, yeah, like poor thing, but probably not being a sub was a good thing for that time of her life. Pocket pool. What's pocket pool, Marianne? I've never heard of such a thing. Do you know what it is, Rachelle?
Yeah.
What is it?
We're moving. I'll tell you later.
Okay. I had an algebra teacher my freshman or sophomore year. And, I consider myself kind of a math struggling student, but I worked really hard. And I remember my friend sitting next to me, Mr. Perry, I'm just going to say his name. I don't even know if he's still teaching, but I whispered her the answer because he was like zeroing in on her and I felt really bad. So I whispered the answer to her. And you know what he said? He said, somebody should pluck your eyeballs out, is what he said to me.
Oh, God.
Isn't that the weirdest response? So weird.
Oh my.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I thought it would be funny, but yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
It was funny, but I knew that if I laughed a little bit more, I was going to go all out coughing. So I drinking my ice water.
All right. This might be a little bit easier than pocket pool. What TV catchphrase do you most enjoy using?
I can't say because I just heard it on this new show I was watching, but she was like, I'm a bad.
Yes. You say it. You say it. Now go beep. You say it. Now go beep.
Bad.
Are you watching Inventing?
Yes.
Anna?
Yes.
Me too. Oh my gosh.
I finished it.
I just finished it. And I was like, man, I wish it wasn't over.
Don't tell me. I'm not.
I'm glad it's over until it comes back up. I was horrified. I was horrifically watching it. I'm not telling you anything. I'm not spoiling it. I'm just telling you how I feel when I watch it. I'm horrified. Are you horrified?
No. I was horrified with Ozark, but not with
Totally.
I can listen again.
Yeah.
Well, what about yada yada yada?
I was gonna say yada yada yada. Seinfeld, right?
Yeah. My kids say yeet. Yeet. Or, yeah.
I like Woosah. Martin. That's an old show. Woosah.
Yeah.
Marsha. No, I'm kidding.
All right. Are you guys having any fun or is this completely boring?
No, it's fun. You know what else is fun? We could talk about the fun we had in Nashville.
We did have fun in Nashville. I don't want to know about. We're going back to Nashville.
Yeah.
All right. It's funny that you said that because the last question was in honor of that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait.
The last question for my rapid fire, unless you want me to keep asking, but you guys aren't laughing, so I feel kind of like hard crowd.
Yeah, it makes me think too. It's making me think.
I have to be careful to not laugh too much.
Okay. All right. Because we spent time at the karaoke. Okay. And I mean, we were some bad. Beep,
Remember, because some people even came in and wanted to come with us.
Yes. Oh, remember the lady that came in and she was like, she just hung out with us, so she didn't want to be out anywhere else. Yeah.
I mean,
we were the cool people.
Fun. We were rocking it, and we were like the oldest people in the joint.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Well, I was the oldest one in the joint.
We were having a ball.
Yeah, we
So
were.
if we were DJs, what would our DJ name be?
DJ
Or
Dr. Joy.
DJ Joy.
DJ Dr.
Yes.
Joy.
I love it.
I would keep it. Like DJ Dr. Joy.
Yeah, I love that. DJ Dr. Joy. I would be.
DJ Melly Mel. I don't know, but
Mel. Yeah, Smelly Mel.
anything with like double your name or something. I don't know.
DJ.
But Rachelle's the queen of Nashville, so DJ Queen of Nashville. I don't know. She's the queen of Nashville, so what?
Queen of Nash.
Something to give her.
DJ
Nash for real, like yeah.
Nash. Wow. Wow. There I googled DJ name generator and there actually is one.
Okay, let's hear him.
DJ Robust Ruckus Rachelle.
Yes.
Because you can do spiciness, hip hopify your name and fame. So I'm going to take the spiciness out. So DJ, let's see here. No, that one was just ridiculous. Some of these are just not even cool. I can't even say some of these words. Can I?
Yeah. Can you do it for me?
Hang on. Let me see if I can get my name out of there.
DJ Voluptuous Mel.
Oh God.
Oh, some of these are weird. No, I better put the spiciness back on.
Put the spicy, please. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God. Wait a minute. I can't even read. I can't even. DJ Misguided Mama Melody.
There you go. Perfect.
That is perfect. Misguided.
Oh my God. Menacing Mama Melody is the next one.
No, Misguided is definitely.
All right. I'm gonna do, let's see,
legit.
Dr. Joy. Hang on. We'll do this one.
But Dr. Joy had a good one.
DJ Dutiful Digits Dr. Joy.
Oh God. That's a mouthful.
Oh wait, I'll put the fame one back on. Jeez.
I'll tell you what else is a mouthful. Just kidding.
Def Diesel Dr. Joy Dillon. Like, I'm not sure what that's about.
Do one for your mom. Do one for Marianne.
All right, we'll just see Marianne here.
DJ Dr. Joy is definitely the best. Misguided Mel. DJ Misguided Mel. That's pretty
good for you.
And what is
I gotta put the spiciness back on.
Hot Queen of Nash, DJ Rachelle. Is that what it was?
I have no idea. It might have been. Oh, Marianne. DJ Moneymaker Marianne.
Oh, that's right. Good.
Hello. That's right.
Wait, here's the one. DJ Meek Mo City Marianne.
I like the Moneymaker.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, then there's DJ Make It Rain Marianne. There we go.
There we go, Marianne. There we go, Marianne. And then Sheriff, you know what I'm saying? That's right. That's right.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So we have come to the end. We've actually gone over. But before we go, there's something scrolling across the bottom of our screen, Rachelle, the Tony box. Do you want to?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us anything about that?
Yeah, and I wish I would have unplugged mine, but the Tony box is this like kids can use it, and you put the little Tony character on top, and and it reads stories. But you also have creative Tonys, and you can record your voice. Like, so let's say families want to record their stories, and they can have it, and they set the little character on top of the Tony box, and then the kids can operate. They can use the ears for the volume. But anyway, on Tuesday, LeVar Burton is going to do a live reading at 9 a.m. Pacific and 12 p.m. Eastern. There's a Facebook event, but he's doing it in collaboration with Tony's and with this school district, and they're actually going to give away some Tony boxes to some different schools. So I posted it in the Thrive community. There's the link there to sign up, and then I'll share it out later on. But the Tony box is amazing, and it's really great also for SEL because they even had vocabulary. Had some stories, and there's different characters. So LeVar is going to read his book on Tuesday, I think it is. And it's The Rhino Who Swallowed a Storm, I think, to a live studio or a live student audience. And so, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Just wanted to share.
Awesome. I love it.
Very cute.
Well, that's great. And before we say goodbye, Dr. DJ Joy, Dr. DJ Dr. Joy, shake your money maker. Before we say, I always like to ask our guests, what is one thing you'd like to share before we say goodbye? So I want to ask that to you.
Wow. Just one thing I want to share about my book or about.
Anything. What is one thing you
Anything.
just want to
You know,
say?
I'll tell you. One thing I want to share is that this morning, and I had the most magnificent time reading Back to Zero to a first grade class. It just made my day. And so I want to find ways to read to more kids. And so I'm kind of trying to create something now where I don't know, once a month or something that I get to read to a classroom because it was the most joyful way to start my day. So I read to Lisa Zebley's class. She's a first grade teacher in Virginia Beach, and they were just adorable, and it was just so much fun, and it just filled me with all types of joy. So, like, do something that you make sure you do something in your day that just makes you feel good, like
Mhm.
every single day. And like starting my day today doing that just made me feel so good. So just do something that makes you feel good. Doesn't matter what anybody thinks about it. Just do something that makes you feel good.
I love it. I love it. And with that, ladies and gents, thanks so much for tuning in. We will see you later. Have a great weekend.
Bye. Thank you.